How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. Happy very, very rainy Thursday. I hope y'all all got home safely from work tonight. I was running. Miss Angela Torrance with us tonight. I'm saying that name, the last name right as well, right?
That's
All
right.
right.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. We'll give folks a few more minutes to get in here, and then we'll get started. There you go. Oh, I love that y'all are already letting me know the situations with the cameras. Thank you. Thank you. The diligence is wonderful. I appreciate y'all. Happy Thursday. Happy very rainy Thursday. All right, y'all. I'm gonna run through this our meeting announcements. You got the bell on. I'm gonna run through our meeting announcements and then I'm gonna turn this over to Miss Angela here. As always, thank you for arriving in professional attire this evening. Please have your camera on and your microphone off if you're able, if it is safe to do so. Attendance is based on being present and active in the meeting. Participate in the chat room if you can. I do know we'll have a poll tonight, so you definitely want to be checking that out. Questions or comments are always welcome. Always be prepared to join a breakout room if necessary. Please remember our no solicitation rule. This is not the forum for you to promote your business or any personal projects. PWG meetings are not designed to be a marketplace for members to sell or be sold to. That is all I have. Miss Angela, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And good evening, Professional Women Group of Dress for Success Houston. It is a great pleasure to be with you all tonight. Can I see some thumbs up and some waves? Let me know. Yeah, see you guys. That's so nice. It is such a great pleasure to be here with you all. I am bubbly inside, all of the above. And you may say, Angela, why? Why do you feel like that? Dress for Success is a home place for me. It's a place where new beginnings started for me. In 2010, I would say, I started working with a lady by the name of Pat Chambliss, and she wanted to start it. She wanted to start not a PWDG, a Dress for Success affiliation. And we were at that time in Jackson, Mississippi. And I also was her secretary in my corporate world. And she would ask me to do some alignments for her portfolio, maybe help her type up a document and one thing, just whatever she needed to help get her affiliate up and started. And then after it became launched and it was going well, she said, Angela, why haven't I invited you to one of our meetings? And I went, I don't know. And so she invited me to one of her meetings. And at that time, I was a tender age of 28. And of course, we've all been 28 before. And we feel like we can conquer the world. And, I don't need anyone to give me instructions. I got it. I know what to do. But I was so wrong. I needed all the instructions and all the guidance. So tonight we're going to present emotional intelligence. We're going to talk a little bit about our story, and we're going to talk about a key to high performance. So let's get started. So when we talk about our story, I want us to become calm and relaxed. And this is a virtual space, but however, this is a comfortable space, a space where we're able to talk and share and grow from each other. And so I'm going to read a few of these slides, and then I would like for someone in the audience either to raise your hand or unmute yourself and help, and let's talk about what we see in front of us. So for our story, it helps us understand ourselves, others, and the world around us. Did you know that our stories, we're able to find empathy and our stories enrich our lives. It guides us to oneness. It's a freedom from our story. And then our stories help us thrive and grow beyond our stories. And that's where Dress for Success and PWG Group, that particular environment and myself, we met each other. I was right there. I needed to know how to become oneness with myself. And when I think about the things that the Professional Woman Group have placed in my life and how it helped align me, it helps my story grow. It helps me be able to give back to you all what it had given to me, which is an outlet, a way to learn to do things, or learn to improve my situation, a way to the tools and resources that are needed to grow and grow in my career and grow in my personal and family life. And so, three things I would like for you all to drop in the chat. What are three things about your story that make you, that are remarkable? Three things about your story that make you remarkable. Drop those things in the chat. And while you all are thinking about those things and thinking about your story and thinking about where you are presently and thinking about how we find that empathy and how our stories enrich our lives and guide us to oneness, I would like for someone to unmute themselves and share those three remarkable things about you with us. So in just a moment, let's see how many people are answering the chat. Honesty and trustworthy, unique, patience, resilience, reliant, courageous, determined. One team, one message, one delivery. Great listener, dependable. Okay, so while these chats are coming in, can I get a volunteer to tell us your three things and tell us just a little bit about your story and why those things make you remarkable?
Well, hello. I don't know if you can hear and see me. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the three things that I placed in the box, I think I'm pretty thoughtful. And I also like to remain positive. And I think what really sticks out from my life and how I am is I like to set my goals and also my mind to what it is that I want to achieve. And most oftentimes I achieve it because I am one of those kids in my family that didn't graduate at the top of her class. I
Mm-hmm.
did not get a scholarship when
Mm-hmm.
I was graduating high school. I was like compared to my siblings, I was the one that wasn't supposed to make it.
Oh.
That's how I see myself, like an overcomer.
Mm-hmm. And that's your story. And those things make you remarkable. It also has a uniqueness of bringing awareness to our emotional intelligence. Can I get one more volunteer to share with us? We have 29 ladies in this space. Okay, there we go. Yes.
Yes,
Go ahead.
from my side, everything started in my childhood. I
Yes.
am the oldest of four girls. And I remember the day when I started negotiating with my dad, not for me, for the team, for my sisters. And that's why I say one team, one message, and one delivery. I've carried that story with me everywhere I worked and everywhere I go. So I've even been complimented for bringing people together. And that's one of the things that I can do, no matter the culture, no matter the generation. So I always live with it. And also what gives me silence and tranquility when things are going wrong, hey, you've done it. And I remember that since I was a kid and negotiating with that because there were three monsters behind me. and then I say, okay, we did it or they did it. I wouldn't say they did it. I say we did it because of. And I'm sorry that we didn't do it right. we're going to correct it. So that's from my side. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. One more lady out there, one more member.
We actually have two hands, or we did
Okay.
have two hands. Miss
Okay,
Eileen?
well, let's give them an
No,
opportunity
not
to
Eileen,
share.
sorry.
Okay, go right ahead. Whoever that had raised their hand, let's hear from you. Okay. We're going to give a few more moments. I don't want to miss anyone who wants to share, because this is important. Being able to tell our stories is fruitful for us. Remember, it said that it gives us freedom from our story. And to be able to talk about our story and talk about the things we accomplished or even started, or we quite didn't make the mark, but we was there, we was in the moment. Those things makes us remarkable. And it also gives us an essential to being human. It helps us with our cognitive thinking, our
Hello?
social, yes, and our emotional development. So come on, someone's wanting to
Can
speak?
you all, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. I know you asked about the three remarkable things about Ed, but I just want one thing that I had in my life,
Mhm.
that as a woman in my country, I struggle a lot to what what I become that I wanted. Like, for example, I was in my country, so actually I'm from Afghanistan, and being in military, it was so hard for women to be. So I was a helicopter pilot, and I achieved it for like with so much struggle. And that's why I always say to people that never give up. Consistency brings happy, like success. So always try it. Never quit. Fly it to the end.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah.
That's good. Never quit, fly to the end. I like that. That's neat. That's the thing that makes us unique. These things that we're talking about, that we're there are many more things that make us remarkable. But I just wanted to bring at least three things to our front of the table while we're talking in this space. Like, what makes us who we are? What's the uniqueness of us? And did you know that we're going to continue to write our story? Our story doesn't end if we supersede something or if we fall below the mark. We still have the opportunity to move past that, to continue to write our story. And being aware of these things drives our behaviors and it impacts others. And it brings us to our main topic tonight, which is emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions, and the ability to recognize and understand other emotions, and we have the ability to influence them. Now, these things that we talk about tonight are not ideas of my own. They are ideas that our previous people in our lives have built. There are theories, there are modules and books and an array of things that we can go and study and read about. I want to just give some reference to Daniel Goleman. In 1995, he wrote a book about emotional intelligence. And that book have sold millions of copies. And from that book, he's been able to touch lives and get people to understand that even though we have intelligence, which is, our ability to read and write and score high and do all of these amazing things like travel to the moon and take people to the moon with us. However, those things are important. But where we live now, in the space we are now, it's very or just important as that we need to develop our emotional intelligence. So this is where we're going to take a moment to just see how well can we recognize our own emotions, How well can we recognize the emotions of others, and how we are able to associate with them? How do we act in the moment? So we're getting ready to launch a poll. Our Zoom host, she's getting ready to launch that poll for us. I would like for everyone to answer the questions. There's no right or wrong. This is another way to bring our awareness of where we are in our emotional intelligence. Like, am I true to myself? Am I true to my relatives, my friends? Am I true to my coworkers? Am I true to my children? How do I act? How do I behave? Is it acceptable? If it's not acceptable, how can I change? All of these things is what brings us closer to our emotional intelligence. So, Monica,
Yes,
have,
ma'am. I am about 45 seconds away.
okay. So while she's getting that up and we are getting ready to start the poll, we're going to also have groups discussion about these questions. And then we're going to have another short video about it's coming. Someone says they're not seeing the poll. It's coming. Just give her a few more moments. We're trying to get it to display for everyone. And so we want to clear our minds so we can answer the questions in this moment. Try not to answer the questions 10 years ago in the situation you were, or this morning in the situation you were. Let's try to answer these questions right in this moment.
Okay, we are
Mhm.
just about ready. Somebody is microphone. Somebody's microphone is on. If you can hit that mute, and we should be having that poll coming to y'all momentarily. It is spinning. Here we go.
Okay.
It is untitled, but you should see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me scroll back all back.
All right. So everyone, let's take a moment and answer these questions. Okay. And based on the drop-down button, you will either select I strongly agree, neither agree or disagree, or strongly disagrees. Each one of the questions are posed in order for you to just select one answer. We're going to put a timer on. We'll give everyone about 3 to 5 minutes to answer these questions. Really 3 minutes, because if you think too long, then you may start dwelling on something that happened in the past instead of thinking about current.
Miss Angela,
Yes.
how are you? Number 8 and number 9 is the exact same question.
Okay, that's okay. Just answer it again. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. But it's okay. It's intentional. So.
Number 9 in the chat, y'all. Answer number 9 to the one that's in the chat. Forgive us. We had to get this put together pretty quickly for you, so no worries.
So, are you, Monica, are you able to give us a count of how many participants has answered the questions or show us the result?
Yep, we've got 21 of 34, and I always love a good poll because it lets us know where folks are at.
Okay.
But they are still, you guys, there we go. They're still answering. They're getting to question 9, and they're answering that one in the chat for themselves. I love what question 9 was that I missed. That was great. timing, right? Uh, you can also answer 9 on your poll to the response that's in the chat, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. We got 25 of 34, so 73%, and we're at about 3.5 minutes. So I totally up to you, but I would say maybe another 90 seconds or so.
Okay, all right, we will give everyone 90 more seconds. And would you display our results for everyone to see?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. I will have to swap the share screens with you
Okay,
to show y'all, but I definitely can, and then we can swap back.
Okay.
Y'all have about a minute left for those that are still answering. We're getting really close to the count too. We're at 28 of 34, so y'all are
Okay.
doing great. Okay, we got 30 of 34. I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll. And actually, you all should be able to see them now.
Yes. Okay, so what number 1 says, I do not become defensive when criticized. We have 17 strongly agrees. 30 says they agree. And then there's that 30 that says they neither agree or disagree. So someone who answered neither agree or disagree, would you unmute yourself and tell us the reason why you chose neither?
I just think that it depends on the situation and the person that I'm interacting with.
Okay. All right. Would someone else like to comment on that? Okay. Let's move along to question number 2. Let's see what we have here. So the highest rating was, again, 30. Let's see here. I keep jumping. So I'm going to let you help us out. Would you tell us the highest rating for question number 2?
Absolutely. Question 2, our highest percentage is agree. I can stay calm under pressure, 43%. Said agree. Second was strongly agree at 37%. Just 2 people with neither agree nor disagree, 3 with a disagree, and 1 for strongly disagree.
Okay. All right. So let's jump to question number 4.
Okay.
I manage stress, anxiety, stress, anger, and fear in pursuit of a goal.
Our highest one, yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Our highest one here is agree at 31%.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. So why? So I'm going to throw this question to our members. Why such a high rating on this one? Everyone agreed, pretty much. Kimberly Williams.
Yes, you said number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that yes, I manage it quite well in pursuit of a goal. If it's something that, I really want to achieve, I feel like I'm patient, in trying to, with stress level, not being anxious, but trying to find the right answer or pursuit to achieve the goal is
Mhm.
what I strive for.
Okay. What about you, Tammy? With number 4, did you answer, was you a part of the 31 that agree that you manage anxiety and stress? I believe you're still muted, Tammy.
Yes, I did. Because it basically, nothing's that serious that I can have to be stressed out about it.
Yeah. But sometimes our goals are stressful. So how will we manage our stress when something is stressful? If it's stressful, it is what it is. I can remember a time when I was 22 and I was in junior college and I could not get out of junior college for nothing. And it became very stressful to me, to where I was like, school, college is not for me. It couldn't be for me. I can't even get out of junior college. So that was a stressful event for me. And I just closed the door and crawled up in the ball and did not allow anyone to help me until one day help came. But so how do we tackle when things are stressed like that? And do we even know that we're reacting to those type of things, Brandy?
So when I don't really react to a lot of things, I've
Mhm.
learned how to compartmentalize things, and I
Mm.
have boundaries set. So it took a while for me to get there,
Mhm.
but I don't let things affect me one way or another, unless it's, you know, something that's going to directly affect my personal well-being or my children or health or whatever
Okay.
that would be.
I like that you said you reset. That's good. It's very important that we reset. What about number 8? Host, can we jump to number 8? Okay, she may be muted or having challenges. We're going to keep going. So what
Forgive me,
are
I was having technical difficulties. I
okay?
am here. My computer is trying to crash and I'm hoping it doesn't and it keeps y'all on. So 8 is I try to see things from another's perspective. 54% at agree,
Okay.
36% at strongly agree, and 11% at neither agree nor disagree. We didn't have any no's to that one.
Good, good, good. So that's important when we're thinking about emotional intelligence and understanding someone else and how they play a part in whatever situation and understanding their viewpoint, whether you agree to their viewpoint or not, but the ability to recognize their perspective is the win, more so than I just don't understand their perspective, but the ability to recognize that they have a point of view and even to acknowledge it to a point where, okay, I acknowledge it, I see that, but I don't have to agree with it. So we're done with the poll. Thank you all for sharing. We're going to move along in our presentation to our next slide. And we're going to have Mr. Daniel Goldman explain a little bit more about emotional intelligence.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. No, we're not hearing anything, Miss Angela.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. We're going to stop sharing that. We're going to pull it up another way. And hopefully you all can hear it.
It's muted right now. Yep, okay.
Now,
And particularly for leadership. The self-management competencies are first, emotional.
It's coming through. If you can start it over, yep, I think we're good.
I'm Daniel Goleman, and I want to share with you why emotional intelligence is a key to high performance. Emotional intelligence refers to a different way of being smart. It's not your IQ, it's how you manage yourself and your relationships. It's not usually taught in schools. You learn it at home, on the playground, or in the office. There are 4 parts to my model of emotional intelligence. The first is self-awareness. The second is self-management. Then there's social awareness or empathy. And the fourth is relationship management. Within each of these 4 parts, these 4 domains, there are learned competencies based on the underlying ability that are what make people outstanding in the workplace. There are 2 sets of emotional intelligence abilities. The first is crucial for leading ourselves, for self-management. It includes self-awareness and self-management. You see it in outstanding individual contributors like, say, a star software engineer. These are people whose excellence is based on solo work, not on teamwork. The second set has to do with our relationships, with empathy. And these abilities are crucial for teamwork, for sales, for handling clients, and particularly for leadership. The self-management competencies are first, emotional self-awareness, then emotional balance, positive outlook, the drive to achieve, and adaptability. The relationship competencies are empathy, organizational awareness, influence, being a coach and mentor, inspiration, teamwork, and conflict management.
what did we hear him say about emotional intelligence? And it's broken down into 4 domains. And if we think back to our stories, and if we think back to the questions that we answer, are we able to relate those things with what he just shared with us about having a high performance is also related to your emotional intelligence? Are they relatable? Anyone? And how do you feel about what he just said? Do you believe that? Okay, Christina?
Yes, I would say that it is relatable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait, why? Like if you think about your story or those 3 remarkable things, and if you think about the questions that we answered, how are they relatable to you? Where can you find yourself in one of these domains? Give us an example.
So one of the 4 domains, like self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management, how does that
Yes.
relate to the questions that we just answered?
Yes, or even your story.
I would say you need to first, like, so the first question that you ask kind of helps us to go back and remember our story or what are the trials or tribulations that we went through. Just like stress, because the things that we go through cause either happiness or stress. And then that relates to self-awareness, knowing who you are or your emotions. Self-management really relates to the questions in the poll, because being able to like manage your emotions and like have a positive outlook on life. I think that that really relates to the questions in the poll. And then social awareness, does that mean just knowing like taking into consideration other people's feelings?
Exactly. Empathy. Yes, that's exactly what it means. Okay, so thank you for sharing. Would someone else like to share? Is that Mrs. Little? Loretta Fox Little?
Yeah, I'm still pondering over all of this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what the previous person said, it does, to me, it does come down to empathy, just having empathy towards others, and seeing people from their perspective. Because I think that's my strong suit. Because when people talk to me and it's something that, I may not agree with them, but, I have the ability to listen and not judge and just see things from the perspective. So I think that does anybody, that you work around people or any situation, it's just a good thing to have, just to have that empathy. Because a lot of people are just very, very judgmental. There's just the world we're in. And yeah, and it's just that I think that's what it comes down to, is just trying to go beyond that and not be like everybody else and just be judgmental all the time. So that's all I got to say about it.
That's good. That's good enough. So, everything that we've shared is right. There's no right or wrong, because we all are unique, right? And society often tries to paint the picture that you have to be very, very smart. You have to have all of these accolades or a whole bunch of education or all of, just you have to be a part of the society of of inventors or uniqueness, but not necessarily. It's going to be our emotional intelligence that brings us to the front. It's our key performance. So the ability to be self-aware, the ability to manage yourself, the ability to have social awareness and relationship management helps us define who we are, why we are being, and it helps us to continue to write our story. And so for the purpose of defining what each of these are, I'm going to read a little bit for us. So for self-awareness, it tells us you recognize your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behavior. You know your strength and weakness, and you have self-confidence. That's that. Who am I? Those three remarkable things. For self-management, you're able to control impulsive feelings and behavior, manage your emotions in a healthy way, take initiatives, follow through on commitments, and adapt to changing circumstances. Okay, and then for social awareness, it's right. We have empathy. That's what that means. You can understand emotions, needs, and concerns of others. Pick up on emotional cues, feeling comfortable socially, and recognizing the power and dynamics in a group of an organization. And then there's relationship management. You know how to develop and maintain good relationships, communicate clearly, inspire and influence others, work well in a team, and manage conflict. So the first steps in knowing or developing or sharpening our emotional intelligence is one, self-awareness. We have to know what our triggers are. What makes us fly off the handle? What makes us smile? And then when we think about how do we have emotional intelligence towards others, then we're able to understand them. We're able to open our hearts and minds up to know what are their triggers? What makes them happy? What makes them sad? And then we're able to have that perspective view and understanding, they have a contributing part to this environment as well. But let's jump back to self-management. So in self-management, we have the emotional balance, adaptability, achievement orientation, and a positive outlook. When we talk about self-awareness and self-management, we're definitely dealing with oneness. How can I grow myself? How can I move my needle? That's a new term in a cliche. How can I move my needle from where I am to where I want to be? And I want to encourage you all to continue to participate in your PWG program. Continue to participate in Dress for Success. Continue to find the thing that you're passionate about and grow it. And once you start growing yourself, then you're able to sharpen those other outside things, which is your social awareness and your relationship management. Any questions, any comments about this slide? Yes, Jamila? Okay, while she's working to get unmuted, are there any, Faye Wiggins, would you like to have a comment on this slide, or tell us what you think so far? Okay, what about, okay.
I don't have a comment right now. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Is there any hands up that I have missed? Or did someone say something in the chat?
Andrea has her hand up. Miss Janet has her hand up. Andrea, if you want to go ahead and unmute, you can go ahead, and then Miss Janet.
Okay, so I more so have a question about the self-management. What is the best way to manage stress or chaos? And like, how do you keep your emotions in balance? I'm trying to teeter-totter through this part of my life right now. So I'm having a difficult time just trying to figure that part out.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. So the first thing is what you just said. You are aware of what's going on, that this is a part that you want to shape up some or move from. So that's the first thing. This is where I'm at. Now, how do we do that? We first understand what's making us feel this way. And if that thing is controllable, then you want to control whatever that thing is making you feel that way. And if it's not controllable, then you seek help. Our stories are important because somebody is have lived that story, or can recognize that story, or even maybe their mom or their dad or their sister, their auntie, their neighbor has that story, and then they're able to give you help. And then also there's resources out there that are able to help and coach you. Of course, therapy, meditation, and then really understanding the root cause of whatever that thing is that's making you feel that way. So my suggestion is find the root cause. What is driving me to this point?
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, there was someone else who had their hand up.
That would have been me. It's so funny. Everything you just said was just spot on to what I was going to comment on. I know having self-awareness, knowing who you are and what sort of drives you, what triggers you, leads you to being able to manage yourself. Everything you said was pretty much what I was going to comment on, so I don't really have much to add to that. So.
Thank you. Great for hearing your voice and hearing that, we agree upon, just becoming aware of where, and then don't be afraid to reach for help. Don't be afraid to say, this is my story. This is not who I am. This is my story. I want to continue to write my story. I have an auntie back home in Mississippi, and she would say, oh, my left eye is getting ready to jump. Something's bad going to happen. I go, oh, wait a minute. Hold up. We don't want to get mad. I can't stop your left eye from jumping, but you know that whatever is coming is going to upset you. So right now, let's break those barriers down of getting ready to know that you're getting ready to be upset. So we're not going to let whatever's coming upset you because you feel it coming. So that's the same way as being aware and finding that root cause. Okay, let's go on to our next slide. This is good. I hope you're enjoying. So some strategies. So can someone read? Someone has a question in the chat.
Yeah.
How do we manage conflict?
Let me say.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is, my name is Afion Otu. My question is on, I think it's organizational relationship, or I mean, conflict management. Now, my question is, how do we manage conflict in an organization in a situation whereby you personally, in fact, everybody knows there is a faction, everybody being supportive of his own faction at workplace. Do you get what I'm trying to say, ma'am? Miss Angela, do you get me?
Yes, I'm trying to understand. So
yes.
The first thing you have to do is listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're into being emotional intelligence, then
Mm-hmm.
you already know what the other person, the other party, what their triggers are and what makes them trigger, and what makes them want to blow off the handle. So you have to be crafty in your conversation with them, because if you tell them no from the door, the conversation is over. They're not going to want to hear anything else. But however, if you use the word, have you ever thought about it this way? Or I have been in that situation. When you are in conflict, the best thing to do is to understand the person's point of view first. And then if you can't put yourself in their shoes, then you have to think outside of the box. Okay. Like, what would someone else do in this situation?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I hope I answered your question. So one, know if you're in a heated conversation, understand what that person is bringing, understand their triggers, understand who they are and what they're passionate about. Okay. And then try to use that empathy from your journey.
Yeah. And
then try to help the situation. But the most important thing is to listen to them.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And then that's even if you disagree with them. Sometimes you just have to listen out, like that hard-headed child of yours who kept saying, Mama, please just listen to me. Sometimes we have to just listen to them so they can get it out. Okay. And then you're able to find the solution.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
all
right.
Thank you. Okay. Was there someone else?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I came into this meeting, just had a very, very blowout with my mom. Okay. What do you do? What can you do when you're using the crucial conversations, you're doing the meditation, you are active listening, you let them get everything off their chest, you've been silent, you followed all the rules, right? And yet that person still doesn't care about your perception or your opinion, and it's a close family member. So I kind of just can't be like, I want to be like, I don't want to deal with you, but you're my mom. Right. You're my mom, and I have to deal with you.
Okay.
But like right now, my body is hot, my chest is tight.
Okay.
I don't know what to do.
I want us to just right now is do what number 1 on the right-hand side says, which is breathe. Just take a moment and breathe. And then once you're able to breathe, it may take more than these seconds that I'm giving us, but once you take the moment to really just breathe, go outside and breathe, walk and breathe, sit and breathe. I want you to do what number 2 says, make an emotion versus a reason list of what's really going on in this relationship. And then sometimes our solution is not a right now solution. It's not going to be able to be fixed tomorrow. So sleep on it. Get a mental recharge. And then take control of your self-talk. We have to take the I out of our talks. Like, I keep doing this, I keep doing this, I keep doing this, I keep doing this, and just take it out. Take the I out. And understand the part we play in the equation. And then I want you to visualize yourself and your mom succeeding in whatever positive relationship there is. And just like a tree, someone gave me this analysis the other day, a bamboo tree. A bamboo tree takes 5 years to grow. And underneath the soil, you never see it peaks, it never peaks its head. But underneath the soil, in the dirt, so we're putting water and we're putting fertilizer up on the top, and it's pulling all of those materials and it's growing and it's shaping. But it takes 5 years for a bamboo tree to grow. And when it grows, it stretches as tall, the tallest tree in the rainforest. But while it was up underneath there breathing and thinking about it, the reason for it to exist, and taking those recharge, and taking, one day I'm gonna sprout out. And take control of just sometimes just walking away.
I walked away.
That's right. Just walk away sometimes. It's just, even though you're like, oh, I just want to say it, just sometimes. Okay. Thank you for sharing that and giving us an opportunity. Will any of the other members like to give her any words of encouragement? Lynette? I see you're like this with the glasses on, Lynette. I see you. Would you like to share? Oh, we can't hear you. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Okay.
I would like to chime in if Lynette is not able to.
Okay, go right ahead.
So I practice this in my practice, and effective communication where you're not talking at each other, but you're talking to each other. And to Jamila, you would let mom know, yes, mom, I hear you, as calmly as possible. And you will let her know, but I feel, and list the word that you're feeling. It could be, I feel invaded. I feel unheard. I feel, so you have to tell mom the truth by you list the emotion word, and then and let mom know the behavior that's happening from her mouth or from what she's saying. If in the future, I would like for you to, and just list what you would like for her to do. So you might have to write it down first before you talk to mom next time, and then you'll be ready to be able to talk to mom, because it sounds like the little girl is screaming out, and we have 2 full-grown women, but it happens. And so don't get frustrated, just stay calm and then breathe, like she said, the host said, and just take your time and explain yourself about what you see, and hopefully mom will change, hopefully.
Yep. Great job. Thank you for sharing. So we're running close to time, and I want us to get through this. So our next strategy happens when we lead others, which is our social awareness and our relationship management. And so greet people by their name, watch the body language, lead, plan ahead, and live in the moment. Like right now, we're living in our emotion intelligence moment. This is what that means. Practice the art of listening and seek the whole picture. That's why you remove the I out the conversation. Seek the whole picture. And then on the social management, this is where This is where your PWG meetings pays off. Now you're ready to really shape and sharpen your career. I'm ready to move from being the front desk host to now I'm ready to be the team lead, because you walked yourself through your emotional intelligence. And so while you're doing that, you, be open-minded and curious. Do the research, do the homework, develop your natural communication style. I'm not here to change who you are. Remember, we're all unique. So find your communication style and sharpen it. Take feedback well, acknowledge the other person's feeling, explain your decision, and don't just make them. And understand that sometimes it's a tough situation, tough conversation, Jamila. That's a tough conversation. So one more thing we have here is good news. We have some strategies how to spot, and it looks like my picture is gone. Let's see if I can get it back. I had one thing I wanted to leave you with. I'm going to stop sharing. See if I can find that clip. I need probably have to exit that out. Yeah, I did. Okay, let's see. Let me know if you can hear this or not. This is what I want us to leave with.
I can't hear anything. I'm not sure about the masses. Miss Angela, I don't know if you can hear us or if you can hear me, but we cannot hear.
Okay, I'm
what you're
going to copy this.
And I was gonna say, and we've got just under a minute as well. If you need to go a few minutes
Okay.
over, that's fine, but do want to be aware of
Okay.
time.
Let's see here. I'm going to send this video to the chat and you all listen to it, because this is the end of the presentation. I wish we had more time, because it is our emotional intelligence that's going to carry us along in our journey, whether it's leadership in our personal lives or our professional lives. Just being able to recognize who you are, to manage who you are. Is that control thing? Are you controlling your anxiety and your fears and your happiness? And then once you get yourself together, then you start working on your competencies with your social awareness, like becoming aware of the things around you, and then you're able to recognize when another person is having a bad day, or when another person is really being influential in something. And then you're able to get into those groups and learn from different positive groups. And then once you have conquered that, you start tapping into your relationship management. And that's when you're going, okay, I have something I want to share with the group. Okay, PWG coordinator, can we talk about this in our group? But now you have really opened yourself up. I have learned, and now I want to give back in learning. So there are some resources that I'm going to send to you all. I'm sorry, due to time, I don't want us to be too far over time. There are some resources I'm going to send over. I will also share this presentation with the PWG group. for you all to have. It's been a pleasure